Where do you want to back up, though?
Well, let's go to page Nun Bet, where he wants to start talking about how the Mochin come in. Yesterday we went through actually. Okay, so we're just going to read the top part. Okay. So it says Yivoyer Seder Knesses Hamochim Makifim the Lamed Mem Birchas Cohanim. So we're going to go over this. V'nachsa the Inyan Birchas Cohanim. So let's go to talk about the Birchas Cohanim again. Everything that's in the ocean tzadi tetzalim. So the same, I guess he means the same 10 spheros. Yesh ba'oz lamed v'chein ba'oz mem. So yesterday you and I solved this idea that, you can understand them in terms of what's kitzoni and panimi to all the rest like that. They're there, but, not visible, covered over. Here come the Birchas Cohanim. Niknasim shtei bechinus kefulu zu al zu. There's two bechinos come in. They're double bechinos. So once I say there's two aspects of the makifim, zu al zu, one's on top of the next. Shehem lamed mem. Vos lamed shuhu yoser tachtoina. That's the part that's on the bottommost. Nikneser b'techila goes in first. V'achakach nikneses hamem shehi yoser al yona, which is higher, which we were saying yesterday is more panimi. So as they come in, so we're going to go through the order of how they come in. So it'll be our review. So it says, Sidron. This is the order of what has, when you start saying these words, they're like magic buttons. And he says, you say the word Yivarecha. When you say that word, Ata Niknas Moach Chochma Shal Halamed. So just try to think like this. He said the Lamed and the Mem, just like the Tzadi, have 10 spheros. So you go into the Lamed and you see over here that there's a Chochma and a Lamed. So he said now the Lamed, that is the lower Makif, it's Lamed, that is the Moch of Chochma that's in that Lamed, that's its time. So then you say the word Hashem, Bo niknas mu chochma shel hamem. Then comes in the chochma shel hamem. So therefore the chochma, the lamed came in and the chochma, the men came in when you say the first two words. Then you say v'yish barecha, and that's really the end. It's a 3-word stanza. He says, so eser chasadim shel hadas da'os mem. So the entire 10 chasadim, so it's the chasadim of das. But he says there's 10 spheros there too. Apparently saying that. 10 spheros in the chasad and the das, just like the 10 spheros in the chachma. So he says there's also 10 spheros in the chachma. The v'yush merecha eser chasadim shal hadas the os mem, of the os mem. So this is what's come in these three. You have the two sides of chachma. You have the mem and the lamed. Both of them came in with the first two words. So he said it in the order. The lamed comes first, then comes the mem. And then also the right side of the middle. All of the spheres of the right side of the middle come in. So he says, Shal hadas da'os mem. So that's what you have. So you have all of the chokhmah side in. That's what sounds on the right side. Okay, and then you have the middle half, the right half of the center line. But only the mem over there, not the lamed. So he is voira kavona b'pasuk Yar Hashem panav elecha v'chuneko. So let's try to understand this, explain this. Then we go to the second stanza. So probably would be helpful if we had a sitter, we just were looking at it, so we didn't have to keep referring back and forth because my brain's not that good. Hold on for a second. I'm going to get mine out so that just so I know that we're where we're at. Okay. Oh, there's another place earlier. Okay. Okay, so sorry. So getting there. There we go. closer, closer, closer. Okay. Okay, I have it now. Boy, it really was hard for me to find that.
You found it?
I found it, yeah. Okay, well, it's just like we said. It's Yivarecha Hashem B'Yishmerecha. We just went over that. You have three pieces, two parts of Chochmah, the Lamed and the Mem Chochmah, and the entire 10 spheros of the Mem of the middle line, the right side of the middle line. Now we're starting on Yar Hashem Panav Elecha V'Choneko, which is a total of 5 words. And we know from yesterday that the word Panav is a special word. So now the Rav writes, Yoer is Bina Shel Halamet. So that would be the left side. So you're talking about 3 Mochin, which is the inside of the Nai, but it's the Chabad of Zer Anpin is inside of the Nai of Ima. So Yoer Bina Shel Halamet is the Bina of the Lamed of the Bina is really the best way to say it, I think. So Hey Hashem is Bina Shal Hamem is the Bina of the Mem. So in Yoer you get the Lamed of the of Bina, and on the Mem you get the Mem of Bina. So then you say the word Panav, but when you say the word Panav, something else happens. So you have, once again, you have 3 sides on the right side, and now you're on the left side, and you're looking at that, and only 2 of them come in. That's the Lamed and the Mem of Bina. But we don't have any mention of the middle line. Now, so that makes 5 pieces. So he said Panav. So he said Va'ata. When you say the word Panav, Ana Chosrim Lachaber Imachim Harishonim. So you go back to the 3 that you did on the Chochmah side, and you want to make a kasher there. So that's V'nimsaki Panav Ku B'Chochmah Shel Halamed. So therefore it comes out on that word Panav. You're dealing with the Chochmah over there of the Lamed. And then you say the word Alecha, the Chasadim Shel Hamem, that's the left side. V'chuneko, you're taking the Chochmah of the Mem. Let's go over the order of this again, because it's if you're standing there and you're going through this, and I used to have it memorized because there's another book called Nekudas HaKesef. I don't think it's nearly as easy to use as this, not even close, but it's very complete. Anyways, he has charts over there. So he said, Panav, you say the word Panav hu b'chochmah shel halamed. So that is the lamed of the chochmah. On the side of chochmah, you're bringing that in. Then you say Alecha, then you're taking the Mem, but the Mem of the right side of the middle. Shel Hamem, so he says, Haim HaChasadim Shel Hamem. And then you go to V'chuneko, then you're getting to the Chochmah Shel Hamem, which is back over to the right side again, and now you have those 3, but those words pull everything together.
Okay, I want to just break for a second and say there's probably a correspondence between the Kavanas of the Cohanim and the Kavanas of the Kahal, because there's an expanded thought that accompanies each word for the Kahila to be contemplating or saying in an undertone. When you say Elecha Hashem Nafshi Asa, Elecha Hashem Shabati Boker Tefilasi Sekat Neko.
You say in your Siddur those things are written?
Yes.
Okay, I hear you. So listen, he's not done with this. That's part of this drush. However, I didn't hear him say what you just said, but he's going to.
He didn't. I'm sorry. I'm bringing it. Maybe it's not relevant, but I think we have to keep this in context. That as the Cohanim have this kavana, what's going on in the olam of the kahila? That's also that correspondence is it's a pitch and catch, and it's not just a one-way street.
Yeah, so I'm saying he's going to be dealing with that.
Oh, he is, okay.
Okay, but exactly what you said, that is the particular kavanos that you said that the kahal is supposed to have, I haven't seen that yet. Doesn't mean it's not in here. What he does address the kavana of the specific kavana of the chazan,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so because here we're dealing with, if you remember that you have to do actually 6 pieces. You have to do the lamed and the men of Chachma, the lamed mem of that's 4 already, right? The lamed men of Bina.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do the lamed mem of the right side of the of the middle. You have to do the lamed mem of the left side of the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So how many pieces is it? That's 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what we're dealing with is 5 at this time. Okay, some of it, he's going to talk about it, and maybe he'll get into exactly what you're talking about, and you'll be able to help me out a little bit over there. So now we could read the tiv starting on number Samaches. It's not a real long tiv, and he just makes it in a little bit plainer Hebrew. So he says, starting at the top of the left column on page Nun Daled, he said, "B'pasuk Hasheni de Birchas Cohanim." So in the second pasuk, B'tevis Yoyer, what happens then? You say this word, Niknas Muach Halamed Tzelem. So the lamed of the Tzelem, Mitzad Habina, from the side of Bina comes in. So now you're working on the side of Bina. You just worked on the side of Chochmah. Now you work on the side which is the left side. Uvatevis Hashem. Then the next word is going to be Hashem. So he said, Yivarecha Hashem. That's the wrong one. Where is it? Yoer Hashem. There it is. Niknas Muach Hamem Detzelem. So then the mem comes in when you say the next word. You say the word Hashem. Mitzad the Bina, but you're all working on the left side, the Bina Dika side. Nimsa Sha'ad Ata Niknasu, the Lamed Mem Detzelem. So he the Bechinas HaChochma. So you have the Lamed Mem of the Tzelem of Chochma. V'chein HaLamed Mem Detzelem, the Bechinas Bina. You have, so the Bina and Chochma both have their Lamed Mems in. The Bechinas Mem Mitzad HaChasad the Das. That's all you have is the Mem there. You have that is a mystical idea. I'm not sure I can grasp it at this moment, because if we said that the Mem is, really, really deep in there, okay, but that's what it is, really, really deep in there. So he said, Shebo B'tevis V'yishmerachos. So that comes in, that Mem that you're talking about of the Chasadim, that comes in when you say the word V'yishmerachos. So now we say, you count it up, it comes out to be 5. 3 on the right side, and now 2 on the left side. Now, let me see. So now we're on number Samach Tes. Where is Samach Tes? Okay, it's here somewhere. So we'll find it. Ometevis Panav. Now he wants us to, that's what it is. He has to switch to this word Panav. Everything was copacetic. If it was me that was doing this, which it's not me, I would have said that with the word Panav, then you bring in the left side of the middle, and you bring in the lamed that's missing over there. Or actually, you're missing everything over there. So, at any rate, you're bringing the left side of the middle. So I would do that, but he's not doing that. He says when you do panav, and on those words, we're not bringing in new mochim. We're not bringing in the left side of the middle, like I said. But you're going back and you're trying to bring in the old mochim. That already came in. That's the 5 that we were talking about, or the 3 that came in from the first stanza. And also the mem de chasad de das. So that's your kavana over here when you get to the word panav. So panav is a magic word that has the ability to pull the right side and the left side together. Now that's just an explanation that just occurred to me. You could say like that. So he says, "Overlachavram ata imam mochim b'achadashim," and to join them together once again with these new mochim, shehem the lamed mem the mochi abina, which we just brought in when we say Yor Hashem. We brought those 2 in. V'zeh sidrin b'tevis panav. So this is how the order is when you say the magic word panav. Yikavin. So he's saying that when you're standing there doing the duchening, you come to the word panav. You have to realize that this is expending a certain amount of energy over to the other side, because you're really in the side of Bina over here. That's what it seemed like. That's what Yoer Hashem was on the side of Bina. So we think you're still over the side of Bina. I would say V'sidron b'tevis panav. Now you kavin l'chaver moach halama d'tzalim b'tzad ha'chochma. So that's the first. On this word, you have to take in mind that you could take, and you're going to go over, your energy is going to go over, and what's the right word? To join together with the lamed d'tzalim on the chochma side. Shenimshku techida b'tevis yivarecha, that originally came from Yivarecha, you're going to pull it over. Maybe you mean, where are you going to pull it over to? You're going to pull it over to the left, you're going to pull it into the middle. I'm trying to understand. But b'tevis alecha, so then when he says alecha, that's the next word, right? So the next word is just Yo Hashem panav elecha. Yeah, that's the next alecha word. Yikavin l'chaber moach hamem d'tzalim b'tzad chasadim. So remember that moach in the middle, the right side of the middle? It had a mem there. You're going to have the kavanah when you say this word. What's the word? Alecha. Who's the alecha? To you. Who's the you? So I guess you would say that it's the mem that comes from the side of the chasadim. Shenimshku techila b'tevis v'yishmaracha, that was really brought over from that last word of the first stanza. Wow. B'tevis v'chunako, and then you get to the ultimate, the final word, which is lashon chen. Yikavin l'chavim muach hamem d'tzalim v'tzad ha'chochma. You should have this idea to join together the muach hamem d'tzalim v'tzad ha'chochma. That's the last part. So you're missing the mem of the chochma. Nimshach techida b'tevis Hashem min pasuk di'yivarecha, and then the next word brought in the mem of the tzalim that was back then. So he's saying that matchup. There's three words in the first stanza. When you get to the word panav, elecha, vichunako, you're concentrating on bringing together and making some kind of a yichud with that right side, with those three pieces on the right side, which is a combination of 5 pieces. Now you say, I guess. Now let's go to number ayin and see if I can hold this together a little bit. Yivarek avanda b'tevis yisa Hashem. So this is the general idea. We're going to the last one, right? The last one is Yisa Hashem Panav. That's 3. There's seven words here. Alecha v'yasem l'cha shalom. 7 words. So he says, Yisa Hashem Panav Alecha v'yasem l'cha shalom. Yisa hachasadim. He says what? Yisa refers to the chasadim of the lamed. Now we had already brought in the mem of the chasadim. Now he's talking about the lamed of the chasadim. So he says Hashem, then you say the word Hashem, Yisha Hashem, right? Hey Masara Gevuros Shebedas Shalomem. So this is the Gevuros that are in the das of the mem. Now where did this idea come from before? Did I hear this? These are the Gevuros. I had the idea of the Gevuros of das coming in. So the Gevuros of das come in, there are 10 of them, he says. And they refer to the mem, and they're going to the mem, because I don't think there was anything in the middle. They're going to make the mem. Then you say the word panav again. So Yisa Hashem panav. So you got to that part. Yisa Hashem panav. Ato now anu chozrim lechaber kol masha niknas. We're going back. We're going to do it again. Everything that came in im elo shenizkar, with the ones that as we have mentioned. Let me get this straightened out, okay? V'nimsa ki panav is face. Panav, that word, chachma shel lamed. I think this is a review here. He says that when you say the word panav, it's talking about bringing in the chachma of the lamed. Alecha, you say alecha hachasadim shel hamem. V'yasem, they say the yasem chachma shel hamem. Well, I think that's a misprint, but we'll see. He just did Chachma Shalamem. No, he did the Chachma Shalamed. Sorry. Okay, and remember the way he's writing it is the backwards from the way I'm translating. I'm tracking it, calculating as the mem of Chachma. He's going the Chachma Shalamem, so probably works that way too. But I like my way.
Huh?
What?
I don't. It seemed to have one that would not necessarily imply the other. I would think the chachma, the mem, or the mem, the chachma, same thing. I don't understand that.
You know why I said that? Because in the Rishash Siddur on Sfira, He's calling it, normally we say like today is Hod. Okay, so this would be the Hod of the 6th week. But you could also call it the sixth part of Hod.
Okay.
Now you have to think about that. But it is in fact the 6th part of Hod, and then Shabbos will be the 7th part of Hod, and that will finish up Hod. So all you could look at it the days of the week, and you said it's the Hod part of the week, or the next day is the Yesod part of the week, and the Shabbos is going to be the Shabbos of the week. You could do it either way. You could do it the number inside or the number outside. I'm just thinking, let's listen to the tib. You're right on to what I'm thinking also. So let's see. We'll look in the tib. He's going to help us out. But one thing is, though, he's got an order that only a mother could love. So I'm just trying to figure out how am I going to remember this order. So he says, V'yasem. When you say the word V'yasem, you're bringing in the Chochma of the Mem of the Chochma. That's what I'm calling it. L'cha Bina, when you say the word L'cha, you're bringing on the Bina side, you're bringing in the Lamed. And you say the word Shalom, on the Bina side, you're bringing in the Mem. He says that's all the whole thing works. And now, this is about as much as we could possibly do today. So let's concentrate on number Ayin on page Nun Hey. Reading the Tiv. He says now, Uvatevis Yisa. So let's go to the word Yisa, right? We got seven different things we have to do here because each one of the words is a magic button to accomplish the yichud we want to make. So he said, you say the word Yisa, Anachto Mamshichim Halama Detzalim. I just got interrupted by whatever's going on with my fax machine. Let's stop in a second. Let me go back. Let me go back again. He says, Uvatevis Yisa, Anachto Mamshichim Halamed Detzalim Shalmuach HaChasadim Dedas. Now, if you recall, in the first round, on the Chasadim Dedas, we brought in the Mem of the Tzalim. But now, when you say Yisa, you're moving backwards. That's what, I just don't get it. I know how to go one rung at a time. Here he's going, you go this way, then you go sideways, you go this way, you go that way. There's a few places like that. It's like academics have to be memorized or understood in some way. Again, Uvatevis Yisa Anachtam Amshim in the Lamed Detzalim Shalmuach HaChasadim Dedas. So now you will have both the Lamed and the Mem of the Chasadim Dedas. Uvatevis Hashem, then the next word is going to be Hashem. He says Anachtam Amshichim Hamem Detzalim Shalmuach Gevur Dedas. So now there's nothing there's no presentation here at all of the Gevur Das. So here they come. So when you say, what was that word? The word Hashem brings in the Gevur Das, which you were missing before. We're bringing in the Mem of that Muach Hadas. Gevur Shtabadas. Okay, so just working that language a little bit. V'nimsa shebepasuk Yisa, so it comes out like this. When you say the word Yisa and the words that come after it, Anachtom mashlimim es kol hamochim the chesadim ugevuras the das. What we're going to do is we're going to bring all of the chesadim. I think I read that wrong, huh?
Bring both of the chesadim and gevuras together from das.
Okay, so let me read it again. Okay, let's get on the track. V'nimsa shebepasuk Yisa, that pasuk. Anachna mashlimin, we complete as a mochen the chesadim megavuras the das. So all of the chesadim megavuras the das are in. So we've completed the complete right side, and maybe we haven't completed. Is there something missing? So let me go on. Kihine min achasadim amshachnu rak as a makifim the mem detzalim, because from the chesadim we didn't bring everything in. We only brought in the mem detzalim. Uvatevish v'yishmaracha, which is the very last word. V'chein min hagavur, b'tevis yishmaracha, that is on the very last word. That is the. Let me just read it again. Hine min chasadim himshachno rach es makifim demem detzalim. That's all we have on the chasadim the das side. B'tevis yishmaracha. So he says Where's the lamed? Let me ask this question. In the middle on the right side, he pulled in the mem of the tzelem of the Chasadim V'das.
Right.
That's the way it was originally. Now you have to bring in the lamed over there. Okay, so
On the left side, which is the Gvuras of Das.
well on the right, but you still only have the mem on the right side of the middle. You need to also have a lamed on the right side of the middle. So now also we just learned that you could bring that he's bringing in with these words. I guess we'll read it again. Bringing with these words the left side. Now the Gvuras of Das become complete, but you're still missing the lamed on the right side. So let me go back to where it starts at the beginning. If it's a nimsha shebepasuk Yusuf, that first one. So this is, I guess, it's the whole pasuk. Anachna mashlimim is called hamochim the chasadim begavoras the das. In this pasuk, we're going to finish everything, the chasadim and the gavoras the das. So he said, "Hine min hachasadim himshachnu rachas makifim," because you only have the mem. You only have the mem to tell him b'tevis v'yishmerecha, and we got that. Yivarecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. That was on the last word of the first pasuk. Okay, that's one of the places I got mixed up. Okay, so that all we got in the last word of the first pasuk was we got the mem of the middle line of the tzelem of the mem of the tzelem of the middle line, of the right side of the middle line. Rach es makif the mem the tzelem. So we only brought the mem, the makif, that one. But tevis yishmerachon, that happened when we said yishmerachon. So then became min gavuros, from the gavuros then. Shachno rak halama the tzelem. First we only brought the lama the tzelem. Ayadei kavanas akahal. And this is going to happen as a result of the kavana, the kahal, the congregation. Akumo isha yisba'ar lahon. So this goes right to what you were saying. But here we're talking about it we're still more on the outside, trying to look in and see what's going on from the beginning. Let's go back to the word v'chein. V'chein min gavuros, from the gavuros of das. We only brought in the lamed tzelem. And how did you do this? You brought it through the kavanah, the kahal, the kamo sheyis bar l'cholan. So in other words, you only have the lamed. So he said, but now, in this last stanza, which is Yisah, we're going to come to complete the lamed tzelem mitzad chasadim b'tevis Yisah. You following this?
Yes.
So back in the middle, beautiful. He says, mitzad chasadim b'tevis Yisah. So now you're finishing up the right side of the middle line that you have with this, what's the word? He says, what is it? So at any rate, in this bracha, that's going to be completed. So he says, okay, when you say the word Yisa, you're completing and you're bringing the mem mitzad of the mem of the wait a minute, I getting mixed up. Go back to the word v'anachnu. V'ata anachnu mashlima malama d'tzelem b'tzad chasadim b'tevis Yisa. And the word Yisa, you're bringing in the lamed of the tzelem from the right side of the middle line. V'hamem d'tzelem b'tzad gavuras b'tevis Hashem. And then the mem d'tzelem, which is on the gavuras of das, you're bringing in the most penimistic part of that when you say the word Hashem. So this explanation tells you about all of the mochim, how they come in, the lamed mem tzelem, and whether we're talking about the chasadim and the gavuras of das. All of them come in this last final part. Now there's something missing here though, because he said so. So let me say what he says. Let's go on and let's do the rest of the tip. U'metevis panav anachnu chozrim the kavin amochim shekavar hamshachnu b'pesukim hakodmin. So now he says, once you get to the word, so it says Yisach Hashem panav. So when you get to that word, then you go back to the concept of bringing the other side back in again, and you do that by the succeeding words. And those words are v'lechavram imamochim hamshachnu ato. And now that their other mochim, that is the filling up the lamed or the mem, I don't know, filling up the right side of the center, the left side of the center, filling all of that up. and now you have new mochin in there. All the mochin are there. So when you say that, you brought in the two mochin from the center that remained up the center. So this is the order when you say the word panav. Yikavim lachzor v'lechaber. You go this kavanah to go back, join together again. Halama detzalim b'tzad muach hachachma. Sheniknas b'tevis yivarechacha. They came in the first word. The b'tevis alecha. When you come to the next word, which is Yisrael Hashem panav elecha. L'chaber hamemem detzalim b'tzad hachasad dedas. You go to the mem detzalim b'chasad dedas. Now, once again, this is no order that I can. That I can remember to memorize it, which I had at one time, but I didn't really understand the inside. I just knew where to turn. I was doing the duchening, like turning this way, that way. There's a chasadim side, there's one in the middle, but I didn't really understand any panimis to it. Yekavin l'chaber hamem detzalim. So the idea is now you're going to take the mem detzalim b'tzad chasadim to das. That previously had come in with the word of Yishmarecha. Now what you're going to do, you're to join them together. So I guess what he's saying is that you're making a big yichud here. The yichud takes place, I'm sure, in the middle line. You're representing the middle line. You're the Kohen in the middle, I guess. I don't know. Uvatevas v'yasem. So when you say the word v'yasem, chozrim l'kavin l'chaber, Haim hamem detzalim b'tzad muach hachachma sheniknas b'tevis Hashem, the pasuk rishon. So he said, Yivarecha Hashem, that was the first word. So now you're going to join that together. V'achakach b'tevis l'chor. Then you come to the word l'chor. Yikavin l'chaber halama detzalim. You should have this idea to bring the lama detzalim b'tzad muach habina sheniknas b'tevis yorer. They came originally in when you say the word yorer. Now you're working the left side. The shalom, when you say the word shalom, that's the last word, l'chaber. Haim amem detzalim b'tzad muach habina, shenikta b'tevis Hashem, shel pasuk hasheni. So he says, l'chaber hamem. I really read it terrible. He says, go back to where it says, v'tevis shalom, when you get to the last word. Yikavin l'chaber hamem detzalim. Metzad Muach Habina, which is on the Muach Habina, the mem, that's the highest part of the Bina. Sheniknas b'tevis Hashem. When you said the word Hashem, shall pasuk hasheni, the pasuk hasheni, and you're going to join that together, I guess, with the mem in Chochma, and you're going to put everything together, and everything's going to become a oneness over there. Now, why the order that it's in? I think I might have to study this some more and try to get the actual order. Maybe I'll make a drawing, or if you'd like to, I would, and meaning. This goes with this, that goes with that. I think we actually have that in the Nekudas HaKesef, like that. There's one more that we could do. So just this little idea here. He said, "Kavana acha shal kachol tzarik lekaven be'ez shal Cohanim omrim abracha kodem b'miras yivarechacha." So I don't really know this too well. So he says this is one kavana that you had the kahal has to have. As has to be done before Amiris Yivarecha, before the Kohen says this. There's a number ayin base. He said, "V'hine adayim choya gevura shal chalamed lo niknesu." But he said that if you the same thing is the lamed of the gevuros of those that has not entered. So I guess we're supposed to be keeping track, but I lose track. But the entrance, yeah. So this has to do with the kavana that the people have. So he said, "V'chuki tzarak el kol am hakachol," the whole group. Kasher hakohanim mevarchim birchas kohanim shehu baruch atah Hashem asher kedushana b'mitzvaysav. Kodesh she'omer melech, the word milas yivarechacha. In other words, somewhere before you actually start the birchas kohanim. Yakavnu hakachol ba'os rishon. The kachol should have the kavana for the very first letter. Is the vav shel v'yadaber Hashem al Moshe. So that you had that in mind. So what does that mean? So v'yadaber Hashem al Moshe, you have the kavana on the first letter, which is a vav. V'os daled, and also there's a daled. shall daber el Aaron, speak to Aaron. So these two letters are Vav and Dalet. Shnei Osi is Vav and Dalet. Now, I don't know if you listen to if you're tuned in to the Sefer Ditzniut in the morning, but he's working it like crazy. And like I said, like over in the Ochotz Chaim, I see it over there too. The Vav Dalet combination makes the number 10, Higematria Asara. And the concept is like this, that when this time right before Yevarechacha is when the Gevuros of the Lamed come in. I'm sorry that I said which is the Lamed of the Gevuros. The Vishemuach HaTachton, because the lower Machum Shakulam Heim Gevur Shebedas Lamed. The lowest part would be the Gevuros of the Das of the middle line, the left side of the middle line, which is Gevura. V'niknas B'zah B'techidas Akol, but it goes into Zah before anything else. In other words, the Gevura is there. It's an interesting concept. I'm not sure what it means. Before anything else. That is the Gevura of the... It's already there. That really answers the question what was going on. I'm going to read it back. I'm going to start for the Ramchal. We're going to start tomorrow. Go over that one more time. I beg you to please try to go one more time. Try to get some handle on it. So he says, Heim Gevura Shebedas Halamed, when the Das... that is the Lamed of Das, v'nikna b'zah b'techidas hakol, it comes in first. V'zen ha'asa yidach ha'kachlung, and this comes from a kavanah from the Kehillah. V'achkach niknasim kol shar, so then, through the words, Yivarecha, and so on and so forth, all the rest of the qualities of the what we're talking about, the tselem of these mochin, are coming in. Remember that tselem is a levush. So basically, what you're talking about the tzelem, but it has different qualities because it holds the light that's inside of it, which is the mochin das, the mochin of Zah. So he said, "Kol hashar al yedei hakohanim yivarech," etc. Yoreshem. So all those come in. We just went through how they come in and when they come in. So he said, "Od gebalte memorizal." This is the Rabbi Chaim Vital writing. Inyan tikun echad. There was an inyan about another tikun. Shuhu toloi begavanas shliach tzibor, really depends. It's a gavana for the shliach tzibor. Ve'eni zocher oso, and I don't really remember it. Now, here's what I think. I'd like to see what sitter you have, because actually, see, I never look at it while I'm doing. I'm benching. The kahal, I don't look at the kahal part.
This is the Kol Yaakov. It's a Nusach Sfard sitter.
It's Nusach Sfard? It's not Sfardi?
No, Nusach Sfard. Yikran Elimelech.
Is that an Art Scroll one or not?
No, it's not.
No, because you're talking about, because Art Scroll doesn't have it.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't have it. Okay, well, anyway, here's what it is. It's a lot of minhagim about how to handle different things. So basically what we're learning is the bare bones. So in other words, I would say the best way to say it is the root of all these things. That's what we're learning. We're learning the sod. So when you learn, especially the Rishash, there are a jillion kavanas there. So that you're talking about some which are good, and there are kavanas all over the... I'm using now a lot of the Sfardi Siddur. At any rate...
is there a correspondence? I mean, do they relate to one another?
The Nusach Sfard and Nusach and Sfardi are the same thing, except for one or two places. A little bit more. It's a little longer in the Sfardi at the end, the very end, by the Ketoras. The Tachnum is different. I really like the Sfardi one a lot more. I mean, it's really, really nice, especially Shari Ezra. I thought was great over there. At any rate, those are two places, but the rest of it is exactly the same. And then you come and Tachnun. Oh yeah, Tachnun. Did I say Tachnun?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tachnun is a lot different. It's just much better, like I say, for me in the Sfardi. And then you have, let's see, the Tachnun. So there's really pretty much all the same all the way through. It's the same. It's the same layout. Just the Hodu is the same. They have different emphasis. The Sfardim sound different. any rate, they are the same. I was what I was going to say was that the Nusach ARI, the Lubavitch one, they really try to get it. Their mentality is very similar. That they're interested in Birchas Cohanim, except they don't do it. But they're interested in the Tachnun that comes after it and different things. And when there's Hashem Gerachim, because the Ashkenaz don't do it. They don't have that part. It's just like a lot of missing things in the Ashkenaz. This, I don't know, you remember Mrs. Rosin? You remember her? Her name was Rosin. Now, you may not know them because they're friends of my sons. But at any rate, she's telling, huh?
Yeah, we're friends with them also. Erica.
Yeah, okay, I don't know her name.
Erica Rock.
Okay, anyway, she's Iraqi. She said that in her family they had a tradition that the Ashkenaz, when they moved they originally in the Iraq area, and they wound up in France, following the different roads, that they, the big Sefer Torah, the way you call it, the tik that the Sfardim have, which is made out of metal, is very beautiful. The Ashkenaz only have a cover. So she said it's just not a rich, but some people say that's because of the travel that they had to do. They moved a long way away from their source in Babylon, and so I said, what happened? So they also there's a lot of their prayer is the most brief of all of the prayings. It's like bare bones stuff, Anyway, you want to learn this last part in the Tiv, and we'll finish up. You got that time? Okay. We're doing pretty good here. We're learning a shtickle. So where did it start? On number Ayin Bet. So he says, the very bottom of the right, he says, Vihine adayim lo nizbayer heichon niknas halama detzalim b'tzad gevuras das. You left that out. So apparently all the correspondence that I was getting lost in over there, which we'll try it one more time, that correspondence left out the lamed of the gevuras das. Before the ein anachnu mamshichin. So we Kohanim, actually the writer of the Tiv is a Kohen. So he says he don't mind telling you that. He says anachnu mamshichin so b'pasukah the Birchas Kohanim. We don't bring this in the Kohen part. Ela ayidei kavanas kahal, only through the kahila. V'od b'Birchas Eliyahu, and then something, I don't know what Birchas Eliyahu is just a site reference, but I don't know where it is. So anyway, going on. So he says Va'ata mivayer heichem mekuvana makachol. So what exactly? Where is they have this? He says where? Where is this kavana that we're going to the hamshech as a gevuras the lamed tzelem to in order to bring in the gevuras of the tzelem? He said v'hu acher she'amar kohanim abrocha. So after the Kohanim says, so he says v'hu acher she'yomer hakohanim. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'levarech has amo Yisrael be'avo. That's a moment, he says, in that word avo is where this kavanah, the kahal, should be. That what do they want? What is the sod? Is that now they're bringing in the left, the left line of the middle, the bottom part, which is the lamed. This is the makif, the lowest makif of. Lowest part of the makif of the left of the middle line. So he says, "Kodem emiris hashlosha pasukim," and you have this kavana to bring this in. Now nobody has this kavana, but nobody's really thinking about this. That's part of really what needs to happen. That people have to become aware that this sod is traveling along with you while you're doing this stuff. And if you could plug into it, you can make a tremendous bracha. That's the idea. So he says, so before that, right in that spot, that's where the kavanah to bring in the lamed of the gevuras hadas, hatzibor b'poskim, and then of course that means and also the oros that are in it, of course. So then it said, v'yadaber Hashem el Moshe lemor. Then Hashem said to Moshe, all of this part, daber el akron el banav lemor. So he says, now this is a part I really don't understand 100%, but let's see. So he says, let's take this pasuk, the pasuk, and he's got these notes. He says, okay, now here he tells you where it is. He says, this pasuk, which is in B'midbar, he says, the daber el akron is speaking to Moshe. He says, speak to Moshe, but el banav is the same, saying this. Now he said, ba'osav rishona shall teves v'yadaber. So that very first letter, That's that letter Vav, right? Shehu, the Vav. Now, Vav always really refers to Zeranpin. So, but at any rate, that's not where he's going, I don't think here. I don't know. Of Os Rishon Shel Tevis Davar, which always refers to Malchus, or often refers to Malchus, El Akron Shehu Dalet. So the next word is a Dalet. Now, I'm trying, to use my limited imagination to try to understand if there's something deeper over here that he's wanting to tell me. He wants to hook up the Vav with the Dalet. So let's say like this. You have these words in between. You have Vav, then you have the word Yedaber, and then he says, but let's not focus on the rest of it. Why? The speaking, what we're talking about is the very beginning of it. And I'm pointing this out because I'm trying to learn Kavanos, and I really don't understand too much. All I can do is just sort of look at what he's trying to say here. But I don't really understand. The Vav, he says, of Yedaber, of the word Vayedaber, is important. You combine that with the Os Rishon of the Daber, then that's the next word. Vayedaber, the next word, El Akron, where he says in the next pasuk, Daber El Akron, with this, that first letter is the Dalet. So your wedding sounds like you want to wed these two pasukim. Shehem Osius Du, makes the letter Du. Now Du, like you know from Spanish and Latin, it means two. And they're using it like that here. How Olim Bigematria Asara, which Du, Dalet, and Vav makes the number 10. As he wants to say that somehow this is male and female, that the 10 is male and female. I'm not sure what he wants to say, but that's what he said. He said that we can look over here, we have these two pasukim. Now, how does that help me to understand what the kavanah of the kahal has to be? So he says that this is what you do, what goes. The Sibur has to have this kavanah b'shas and miris a pasukim me'elo, as you're saying these pasukim. Sha'ata neknasem ha'asara gavuras the das the lamed the tzalim. Said what's happening now as they're saying these words. Maybe I should go back to the black print on Amadalad. Huh?
It's Kameshe Gavuras, the Das. Where's the 10 Gavuras of Das?
Okay, that was a question from yesterday that I asked.
Yeah.
I put an answer on it, which is maybe he means the Gavuros that come from the side of Abba and the Gavuros that come from the side of Ima. That was I'm speculating. I'm agreeing with you. There's another possibility that this is more Rishash-like, and he's saying that each one of them has 10. It's always like they're always multiples of 10 in some way. But in other words, he wants to make the Gevur Sadas into a Partzuf, which has a Chabad Chagadnai, which is 10 spheros. So he wants to say that you could look at it in a lot of different ways. It's all 10 spheros, so that's Chabad Chagadnai. Or is it just a Das which is holding these other, these Chasadim and the Gevuros? So I don't know. But all of that is true. And well, what the Rishas is, and so, if we go through this and we really get some traction going, we might look at the Rishash also, because you could be good at that also. But it's very, very, very mind-bending. And there were so many different ways of looking at it, and it's in the Siddur. It's just run this way, run that way, run this way. So Rabbi Mimran had a way of trying to focus us so that we don't get too distracted and understand what's really the root of what you're trying to do. Anyway, we're doing it right now. And that's what he's doing. This is also Kavanah. I want to go to the black print because I didn't think I understood this so well, and we'll try to finish up. Number Ayin Daled V'Yikonenu Sha'oz at this Niknasim Asara Gevura Shalalamit. So he wants to say there are 10 Gevuras inside of the Lamed part of that light. So once again, the Lamed is holding light within it. And the light within it, that is the left side of the middle line, is the Lamed, the bottom of it, and the Lamed just has 10 spheros, like he said at the beginning, like everything else. The Visha Muach HaTachnon Shebekulam, because the lowest Muach of all of them, which is the Lamed of the Gevuros, Heim Gevur Shebedas Lamed, that's who they are. V'niknad b'zah b'techilas hakol, but they come into Zah before everything else. So this happens as a result of the Kahal, as we mentioned. So then all of the rest of them come in. Then the Cohanim start saying, but you have this sitting there first. Okay, now we're going to read the light print and try to get to the end of this little piece. So now the Kavanah has to be from the tzibur. At the time they're saying these pesukim. She'ata niknasim alasara gevuros the lamed of tzelem. That now you're going to bring in the gevuros of the lamed of tzelem. Niknasuch rishon b'zer anpin. They arrive early. That's the first thing. At that point, we said right before the Kohanim start to make the bracha. This is the kavanah that comes from the kahal. Vishu hatachta mikol mochin, because it's the lowest of all of the mochin. So therefore, the lowest, he says, the lowest you're building up. I'm not sure. But he says that's the reason why it comes in now, and it only comes from the kahal. Yeah, are you there?
I lost you.
Okay, where were you? Beginning of the light print? Lost them altogether.
I lost you.
I'm back.
Okay.
Let's start at the beginning of the light print. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, so he says, so now with the kavanah that the tzibur has to have, this is the kavanah that they have to have, right before the word, right after the word va'av. The kavanah is that you're bringing in the lamed of the gevuros, the tzalim. So why should it come first? Because it's the bottom of all the mochin. We know so we know those are the names of the four mochin. If you look at it, you think about it, that the gevura is the lowest of all of them. Of the gevuras atzman, and if you look at the gevuras themselves and the clothing in which they're clothed, yesh shtei bechinas makifim, there's a lamed and a mem. And the lamed, hu makif atachton. So that's the part that covers it, it's on the bottom part. But mem, hu makif ma'elyon, is the upper part. Nimsa shahalamed, hu habechina atachton bekol mochim, so this comes out to be the lowest part of the mochim. Alkein hu niknas harishon, so therefore it comes in the first. But it has to come from a kavanah that the tzibur. What is it? I'm saying like this. It's a base kibble. Yeah, you were talking about pitchers and catchers. So this is what is the lowest possible place. That's it, where everything winds up. Going to be, I think maybe that's an answer. Alkein ku nikdas risham ayidech tzibur. So the tzibur brings it in. Nisham mochem and makifim. So he said. So wait a minute. Maybe I got this wrong. That's not nishar. The shar hamochim makifim. The rest of the mochim makifim shehem amem gevuros, all of them. Ben gevuros v'came alamed ben dechasadim v'hem alamed ben dechachma bebina. Niknasim ayidech Cohanim, the Cohanim, and we'll try to learn that order. Be'es amiris besukim de birchas Kohan. Okay, there is just a little bit more. The most of the marchus is Rabbi Chaim Vital. Zal Shekibel Merbeinu Harizal, that he actually got something else over here in this regard from the Riyah Kodesh. Od Kavana Achad Be'inyan Berchus Kohanim, so you got another one. Shetzarach HaShliach Tzibur L'Kaven, that it has to be the Shliach Tzibur should learn how to have this Kavana. Ulam Einu Zoichu Oso B'Shlem, but he doesn't really remember it completely. So later on, he's going to talk about it more. L'halon Yavur Od B'Zeh. Okay, that's it. It was so nice of you to invite me over, and must learn again soon, like maybe for the Ramchal tomorrow.
Have a great day.
You too. Call to.